So, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to stop and make this video. I was watching this morning Lift Every Voice, and the actress, singer, her name is Demetria McKinney, was on there. And I don't know if you all know her. She played in House of Pain, Tyler Perry's House of Pain, the sitcom, and she also stars on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she was on there and she was giving her testimony, and a part of her testimony was that when she was around the age of, I believe it was 14 or something, she said her mother's husband, which is not her biological father, had began to molest her. And that when she did eventually tell her mother about what was going on, and I guess apparently her mom didn't believe her, and is actually to this day still with married and with this person that molested her daughter. And I just wanted to, it was such a moving uh, testimony. And you could tell that because as she was talking, tears just started coming. And you could tell that it was just a very hurtful a situation for her to, even to this day, even in her adult life, that it was a very hurtful situation. And I just wanted to say, I have heard this same exact story from people that I know personally that have endured this and that have went through this, from either mom's boyfriend, mom's husband, somebody that wasn't their biological father, an uncle, a cousin, a I've heard this story so many times. And I just wanted to come and make the video and say that to any young person, to any young woman, young man who is going through this, you have a right to tell somebody, an adult that you trust. And if that adult doesn't do anything, you go and tell another adult, and so forth and so on. If that adult doesn't do anything, go tell another adult. So one of those people, somebody is going to step up and stand up on your behalf. You do not have to continue to endure and go through that. That is wrong. It is not your fault that an adult is not behaving in the way in which they should. And I also wanted to say that mothers be mothers and fathers, period, because it can happen to boys as well with dad's girlfriend, whatever. It can happen just as well that way. Or be careful. Just be careful who you parents. Be careful who you allow in the presence of your children. Be mindful, because not everybody has the right spirit, and not everybody is has the best interest for your child. And you just have to be careful who you just leave your child with, or who you just leave your child around, because things like this happens too often. And it can be devastating and hurtful in that child's life, and follow them years and years and years, and they have deep rooted issues, and issues of pain and hurt, that because they trusted an adult that you left them with, because they felt like, okay, my mom trusted him, so why shouldn't I? And then this adult does stuff like that. It's just heartbreaking. Like I said, I've heard this story over and over again, and it never sits well with me. I thank God, because it never happened to me. I never had to experience that, thank God. And I think part of it was because my grandmother was so strict with us about how we interacted, especially as girls, how we interacted with men. She did not allow us to sit on men's laps. She did not allow us to be in their face alone with them. She was very, 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 very strict. And back then, I thought it was a little bit over the top. But now, when I see all of the now adult women that have had that happened to them in their life, that have been molested by somebody, by an uncle, by a cousin, mom's boyfriend or mom's husband, or somebody that wasn't their biological father, or even their biological father sometimes. It's just like, wow, that's why my grandmother was the way she was. She did not play when it came to the girls and stuff, hugging and doing all that stuff with men, and she just was really serious about it. And I thank God for that, because in all of her over the topness, I think the message that she was trying to get to us was that we are not to trust everybody, because I think as kids, and with kids, we're so easy to trust adults, because you just automatically think an adult's gonna do right as a kid. Now, when you're grown up, we all know that to be wrong. But when as a kid, you just think that adults are gonna act like adults and do what is right. But that's not the case, and I think that's what my grandmother was trying to make us aware of when we were younger, is not to trust everybody, not to be so trustworthy of everyone. And I thank God that she put that in me, and I've also put that in my kids, not to be so trustworthy of just anybody. And if an adult does something to them that they know is wrong, that they have a right to come and say something, and not to be afraid to speak up and say, to tell if that adult is, and tell that adult this is wrong, and then come and tell another adult that may address the issue. But it's just very, very disturbing how many people have had to endure being molested in their childhood. And it just, like I said, doesn't sit with me well. It just makes me very actually nauseated, to know that a mom's boyfriend or anything could do that to their child. And I can't even say, like, if somebody does something like that to your child, I can't say that they really truly love you, because no man or woman who really loves you would come in and do anything like that or cause harm to you or your children. And that's what we need to be aware of. And in trying to find, I think with being single and being a single mom, we always try to find love, and we want love, and there's nothing wrong with wanting love, and wanting to have somebody special. But at what cost? At what cost? There would be, I have to honestly say, there would be no way that I would stay with anyone who did something like that to my child. And personally, I had experienced with one of my children. It wasn't anything to do with molestation, but it was abuse, and abuse is abuse, be it molestation, be it physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. It's all the same. And I had to go through that, and that was the hardest thing in my life to have to go through, because I was young at the time. And this, the person who did that to my child, it just was a hurtful thing, because you trust, when you're with someone, you trust them, and you want to trust them around your children, but you can't do that. Especially, we live in a day and age where people are all kind of messed up, and we don't know, things could have happened to them when they were younger and when they were children, that they have carried with them, and they'll do it and repeat instead of breaking the cycle. Some people don't know how to break the cycle, they have no idea, so they'll repeat the pattern of what was done to them to someone else. It's like passing on the pain, so they'll pass their pain on to someone else. And you just have to be careful and be mindful of who is around your children, of who is influencing your children. Just be careful, because children are so precious and they're so innocent, and you don't want to have them tainted like that for the rest of their life, because at the end of the day, that's what it does. And so that is why I made this little video. I hope and pray that everyone is doing well and having a blessed Sunday this far. I pray that you are getting ready to go to church as I am, be it online or into a physical church. And I pray that your Sunday continue to be blessed. Not just Sunday, but every day continue to be blessed for you. I am about to get off of here and get ready to go to church. But again, I say be the best you that you can be better than the you were yesterday. Peace.